it's this whole formula. They make it sound wonderful. And when you listen to it, you're like, wow, okay, I can do that. I can do that. But what happens is you're stuck in a cycle of debt. When you owe someone something, your body says that you are not safe. Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the Rachel Cruze Show podcast. I'm so glad that you are here. So in this episode, we're going to talk about what being good with money actually means. I'll go over what I am loving and learning right now, and I'll tell you 9 things that I think are a waste of money and I simply will not pay for. Then you'll hear a conversation I had with my friend and Ramsey personality, George Kamel. We talk about which loyalty programs are worth it and which ones aren't. But first, let's talk about what people think being good with money means and what it actually means. Take a listen. All right, there's a pretty toxic money culture out there that is full of lies on what it means to be good with money. So people are giving all kinds of money advice and tips out there and what it's like, hey, this is wise, you should be doing this. But in reality, these lies will get you in a lot of trouble. So I want you to know the truth. I want you, again, to be able to handle your money where you are controlling it versus it controlling you. So let's go over what some of these people are saying being good with money is. So the first one is, good with money, you should use debt and live beyond your means to motivate yourself. This one always shocks me, but this is a thing. People really recommend that you live a lifestyle or the lifestyle that you want, and then it's going to cause you to work harder to be able to afford it. So Steve Harvey, sweet Steve Harvey, I've heard him say this before. I watched the video, and he was like, you should always fly first class, because once you fly first class, you can never go back to coach, and it's going to really make you work hard to continue to pay for that first class ticket. Or I've heard people, especially in the real estate market, they'll say, hey, you should buy your dream car. Get your dream car. Go get the car you've always wanted. And that's going to motivate you to work harder so you can make the payments every single month. Okay, with this, you guys, it's like the motivation is backwards. It's not how it should be. You should not, again, let your lifestyle drive what you do with money. What you do with money should drive your lifestyle. And when it's backwards, what happens is you get stuck in that narrative, okay, I have to continue to work to keep up with my lifestyle. But when you're free from that and you don't have payments and you don't have debt and you actually live below your means, you have peace. You actually make better decisions because you're more forward thinking, future thinking than in the present moment of what you want. And it just lines you up to sleep at night, to have less stress when you say, hey, I'm going to use the money that I earn to fund my lifestyle versus my lifestyle funding what I am making that what I earn. So living on less than you make, you guys, it's important. It may not be exciting and cool, but it's the best way to live. Another wise piece of advice people say is take advantage of good debt. This is everywhere, all over social media, all over TikTok. People saying you should use debt to build wealth. And it's this idea of, if you can go into debt and do something great, like this crazy investment strategy or investing in real estate, what you get off of that, then you can use it to go and pay for other properties. And it's this whole formula. They make it sound wonderful. And when you listen to it, you're like, wow, okay, I can do that. I can do that. But what happens is you're stuck in a cycle of debt. And what these people don't realize, I don't think, is that, man, money is more than just money. It is attached to so many emotions. Like Dr. John Deloney talks about this all the time, but when you are in debt, when you owe someone something, your body says that you are not safe. Subconsciously, you know that something could be taken away. You're working to, again, pay banks, and that's your whole life. And so when that is in you for years and years and years and years, it can eat away at your soul. Like you don't realize that you lose sleep at night when you live in that cycle. And so yes, does it look flashy? Does it look great? Or all these people like, oh yeah. Even like their fonts and stuff that they have on like on their profiles. It's like, yeah. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it, you guys. There is a freedom to say, hey, I'm going to do what I can do with the money that I have and be wise about it. I want you to win. I want you to build wealth, but I want you to do it in a smart way that has a long track record. And so for most people, it's like, hey, invest in things that you know are going to win on the long term. Your 401k, a Roth IRA, good growth stock mutual fund. Like there are places to put your money, and even real estate. I'm not against real estate. Now, currently, as we're talking about this, real estate is insane right now, right? Like everything is shot up, prices have shot up. But there will come a day where, sure, maybe there's a short sale going on or a foreclosure, and you're able to go and buy a condo with cash on kind of maybe a crappy side of town that's not that expensive. And that could be your first rental property, and you rent it out and you save up. And yeah, does that take longer than just going and taking out a loan and just going big? Absolutely. But your risk is nothing. When you use your money, that's what's key. So you can still build wealth with all the flashiness and borrowing money. The last thing that, gosh, I hear people say all the time is like that they think it's wise, but it can be dangerous, is you need to have a house. You need to buy. Renting is throwing your money away. You need to buy a house, And that, I mean, I've heard that forever. And it feels like as an adult that you've made it when you own a home. Now, long-term, do I want you to own a home? Absolutely. Investing in real estate in your primary home and knowing that you could pay it off, yes, that is huge. I think that is so important and something that I want for you, but I want you to do it when it's right for you. And again, right now, the housing market, it is insane. It's crazy. But if you are in a position to buy, I would still encourage you to buy. And that is if you can put 5, 10, even 20% down. If you do 20%, you avoid PMI, which is huge. But you have a down payment, and that your payment is no more than 25% of your take-home pay on a 15-year fixed rate. So that's kind of the formula around buying a home. Now, is that conservative? Yes, that's conservative. People are always like, oh my gosh, Ramsey, that's like nothing, that's nothing. But listen, I don't want your home to own you, okay? So I want you to be smart about it and have that formula in place. Plus, I want you out of debt completely with a fully funded emergency fund. All of that will give you a huge springboard to go and own a home if you've never owned a home, because again, that should be a really big part of your financial journey. I want that for you, but I don't want your home to own you, because we're all about giving you guys the information and the truth to not let money be the thing that keeps you back in life. I want it to be a tool in your life to create a life you love. We say that all the time on the show. But for it not to be the thing that holds you back in life. And for a lot of these lies, it just holds you back. So I also want to know in the comments if there's things out there that you've heard people say that this is really smart to do with money, but it's actually terrible money advice. And if you want more of an in-depth guidance and help you with things like budgeting and building wealth, everything we talked about, you can check out Financial Peace University. That is the best course to go through to learn how to handle money. All right, I'm here again with my friend, Ramsey personality, George Kamel.
It's me. I'm here.
Welcome back.
It's a fun time.
It's become a current little recurrence.
Why is that?
Current recurrence, because the people love you, George. So do I.
That's what I was waiting to hear. Just keep it coming, guys.
Love you.
Keep it coming.
Because we always bring good stuff. So today we're going to talk about loyalty rewards programs. Are they worth it? Are they not?
I'm very passionate about this topic.
How much do you have to spend to actually get the discount? I mean, it's a lot because they're everywhere. Everyone now has a program. So we're going to go over some of our favorites and a few of the hacks, some do's and don'ts at the end. So buckle up, everyone.
Buckle up.
You're about to be hit.
Ticket or ticket. Wait. Click it or ticket, bucko. That's what I wanted to say.
Bucko.
You like bucko?
Wow.
Kind of a throwback.
Wow.
I also used the word bozo
that's like
yesterday.
That's like a 1982 dad.
I'm trying to find insults from the 1950s to bring back.
Yo, hey, bucko. Hey, pal.
What's up, bozo? Anyways, they'll edit this part out.
George, favorite reward programs, go.
Okay, so big Chick-fil-A fan. You know
I
this.
am too.
Rachel's a huge fan. They have a program called Chick-fil-A One. You earn 10 points per dollar. What does that mean? Who knows? The strategy here is to find menu items that have a lower number of points per dollar. Are you following me here? Because that means you're getting a better value. So here's an example. You can get a chocolate chip cookie for 150 points, but that cookie normally costs $1.29. So that's about 116 points per dollar. That's a good value.
You've done this math.
I've done the math.
And their chocolate chip cookies are fantastic.
Here's an example on the other side. A small side of mac and cheese is 500 points, but it only costs $2.55. So that is costing you 196 points per dollar. Not a great value.
Not a great value.
Yes. So that's one way to kind of do the math.
Wow.
It's very nerdy. There's a spreadsheet online.
It's worth it, though.
Someone did all the math.
Use those points. Use those points.
But here's my favorite hack here when it comes to rewards. Don't forget to fill out the receipts, the surveys on those receipts. You can do them in the app now as well. If you see that notification, fill it out because you get a free sandwich, which is many, many dollars for free.
Completely for free. Oh,
There you go.
Chick-fil-A's the best.
Yeah.
All right, up next, everyone's probably second favorite, Starbucks.
Starbucks. This is a big one. I'm a star earner at Starbucks.
Are
I'm a
you,
rewards
George?
member.
Wow, I felt it. I felt it when you walked in.
I feel
thought,
a
he is
little bit elitist.
Star order. Yes.
You get a star per dollar spent.
Okay.
So it's a star to dollar value here. But there's ways to get more stars for your dollar. So they have little promos. Like, if you come back every single day for 3 days in a row, or you order this specific drink, you'll get extra stars.
Okay.
Right?
Is it worth it?
I don't usually play that game because I'm not going to go to Starbucks
That's
3
the
days
short
in a
game.
row.
You play the long
They're
game.
trying to get you. So here's a hack. If you get enough points to get a handcrafted drink, that's 150 points, you can order the most expensive drink you can get. So usually I'll order like a $9 drink and use my reward to get the most bang for my buck.
Smart, George.
So, and you can order like a plain brewed coffee and load it up with add-ins using your points. So you can use less
Smart.
points and do it that way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Keep
different
it
ways to
going.
use them.
It's a great strategy. I love
Yeah.
that.
What's next?
Cava.
I go Kava.
Cava.
Kava's a personal favorite of mine. Have you ever been?
I hear it's, sorry, Cava. I hear it's overpriced. That's
what
what I
isn't
hear.
these days?
Inflation. Unbelievable.
Okay,
Cava
Kava
just has fallen into the trap of inflation.
Here's how I like to talk about Kava. Kava
Okay.
is like if Chipotle got a master's degree and was from like the Middle East. It's very exotic.
Whoa, all right,
Yes.
a little Mediterranean
Food
action.
of my people.
Wow. Your parents
But
didn't
it's a
immigrate
similar
to this
style.
country for nothing.
That's
George.
right.
Bring Cava in our spirits.
We have a fast casual chain that has great food.
Okay.
So Kava Rewards, you get $8 when you spend $88. So not terrible,
Okay.
right? That adds up. And you also get a $9 birthday credit.
Oh, that's
So you
actually
enter
very
your
good.
birthday in when you fill out the rewards, you're going to get that perk as well. So I'm a big fan of Kava. Usually one bowl fills up my wife and myself with one bowl.
No way. Okay.
So yes, it's 10 or 11 bucks, but it's very filling. It's super healthy, tastes delicious, and you can make
love it.
multiple meals out of it.
Love it.
There you
All
go.
right.
All right,
know
what's
what
your
else is
favorites?
super healthy and very delicious?
Let me guess, Papa John's.
Papa John's.
What is your
No.
obsession with Papa John's?
I don't know.
The pizza's not that good.
Oh, it is though. I'm more of a sauce fan on my pizza. They always give lots of sauce.
Fair.
It's just
I like a higher sauce to cheese ratio.
You know, I'm not gonna lie though. It's become less consistent. It used to be very consistent. It's gotten less over the years. I don't know what it is.
Step it up, Papa.
I know, but it is. It's our go-to. It gets to our house fast. I don't know. I guess it's just how I grew up.
All right.
I'm not sure.
No shame. So how
Okay,
do the
so
rewards work?
their loyalty program, I have the app, and so you get 1 point for every dollar spent. And so if you honestly order a lot of pizza, don't judge me, but it adds up so much, and then you get Papa Dough. So you get like $5,
that's cute.
$10 increments. So when I order a pizza, it's like, oh, there's $10 off. You click it, and it's awesome. I do make sure I tip on the total before I get my discount.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good thing to mention. If
I
you do use a
do.
discount, don't skimp on the tip because
yeah,
of that.
for
Tip
sure.
on the original amount.
That's key.
And that's the Ramsey way.
That's right.
All right? Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we just eat a lot of it, but I just feel like I always have money on my Papa John's app
Listen,
that I get to use.
you got 3 kids at home.
It's
It's
great.
just let's just do
They
pizza.
got wings. I
Yeah.
know that sounds sketchy. They do, and they're
Hey.
not terrible. All right, next, Southwest. Man, I am a Rapid Rewards member, and you earn points when you fly. You don't have to have a credit card for this, and these points can be used, again, whenever you book any flights. And the number of points per dollar really varies based on the type of flight that you book, the amount you spend, all of it. But again, I guess we just fly a lot because of work. I don't know what
Oh,
it is,
yeah.
but I seem like I just always have points. So whenever we go to book a flight, even for personal, Amelia has an account, Charles has an account, and Caroline.
Little Charles has a Southwest account.
Because
That's
I
really
set them
cute.
up. So I'm like, you got to get the points.
Does he fly for free?
No, not after 2. So recently,
Come on, Charles.
we had to buy a seat. I thought, why can you not stay 2?
Come on, Charles.
Stay 2 forever. And
Gosh.
Southwest is great if you do travel with a family because if there are empty seats, they will let you bring on your car seat if you still have an infant.
Whoa.
And take up one of the seats. It's fantastic. And then another hack is I go in and I will check flights almost daily after I book them because if the price drops, you can rebook, and then you get those points. You get points back in your account.
the best.
For the difference. Oh, it's like it's
Just
a
to be
game.
clear, you basically rebook your same flight, and that'll show you if it's more expensive or less expensive than when you booked it, and you can get a credit back.
Yeah, and so if it's dropped in price and you paid more, you get that credit of the difference.
That's
back
a
in your
bonus
account.
hack. Way
It's
to go.
amazing.
Hey.
I do it all the time. It feels
This
like a
show
game
is
to
free?
me.
That's
And then
amazing.
you feel like you're just kind of, you know how they say sticking it to the man.
That's right.
It feels a little
Take
bit like
that,
that. when
billion-dollar
peop-
companies.
When people are mad at corporate America, I'll get on my Southwest
I
app
like
and-
Southwest. They do a good
They
job.
do. No, actually,
but
I
rip
love
up the credit card
I love
offers
them.
when you get them.
Yes, you get plenty. It's fine. It's fine, you guys. Okay.
All right.
Worst programs. You go,
Okay,
sir.
I'm happy to throw Subway under the bus. Okay. So here's the deal with Subway. You get 4 tokens for every $2 spent. 200 tokens equals a $2 reward. So, doing the math, you basically have to spend $50 to get 2. Not a great deal.
Not a great deal. Next up, we got Old Navy, Banana Republic, Gap, all one big company, and it's even worse, you guys. Okay, so you get 1 point for every dollar spent. 100 points equals a $1 reward. So basically, you got to spend $100 just to get $1.
That's going to take a while.
No bueno.
To buy anything there.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Just again, you can still shop there, but just don't depend on the reward system.
Yes. Okay, next, Chipotle. This is a big one. I'm a Chipotle fan, but the rewards program, not so great. You get 10 points for every dollar, which sounds like a lot, but it doesn't get you very much. Because what can you get with 425 points at Chipotle? Chips and salsa. Or a fountain drink. Whoa. But don't use your points for that because a large soda is just $2. So don't use your points for that. You need to have 700 points for chips and guac. What is going on here? What is guacamole made of? This is insane.
Always
and if you want an entree, 1,250 points, which means you have to spend $1,250 to get an entree. Not worth it. And that's more than you'd spend on an entree if you were just using your own money. So just avoid, you can still use Chipotle rewards, but it's not going to get you rich anytime soon.
Yep. Next is Target Circle. So you earn 1% on eligible in-store purchases, but not if you use the red card to make the purchase.
Yeah, that's tough.
And the red card actually has some great deals. You get
the
5%
debit card.
back. The debit card, yes.
There is a credit red card.
Thanks you, George.
Debit, because they're going to come at you in the comment section.
You saved me, George. You saved my life just there. Did you feel that?
I'm here to save you from the comment section.
I was drowning and didn't even realize I was drowning in the comment section.
They were going to drag you in the comment section.
You rescued me, my friends.
Thank you.
You rescued me. So they do give you, though, lots of exclusive deals, but the guidelines are really confusing. And again, the red card, debit card, 5% off, free shipping. Just go that way.
That's a better route.
Yep, absolutely.
So some quick do's and don'ts in general for any rewards programs.
Your favorite.
Do your research. You know I like to do the research.
You love the research, George.
I can't help it. I'm a giant nerd. But this is important because you think, 100 points, that's amazing. When you do your research, you go, nope. They're just using those points to try to get in my brain to make me spend more.
Which is next. Don't spend just to save. They're in your brain, and you're like, I need to do this, this, and this. And the worst are stores. This just happened to me this morning. Actually, you know this because we were...
I saw her make a purchase.
I did make a purchase this morning while we were in between media hits that George and I were doing. And it was like, you get whatever dollar amount off. If you spend $150, I was like, good night. So yeah, listen, but it makes you want to spend to save that money. Don't spend just to save.
It's not a money-making scheme.
That's right.
Okay? Now, on the do section, do use the programs at places you go often. So if you're somewhere once a week and it's in the budget, it's okay to take advantage of that program. But don't think you're going to beat the system, right? You're going to stick it to the man. No, they are smarter than you. They wouldn't have these programs in place if they weren't making oodles of money from it.
Yeah, it feels like the credit card companies as well. Like, same premise.
They've taken note from the credit card companies.
Yes.
They've all moved to points.
Yep.
No longer do you just know how much it is. It's, you get 400,000 points and it's like, that books me a flight to Boise?
All of it, yes.
400,000 points? What's going on?
And they will gamify it and kind of confuse you again. Like what you're saying. With the points, it feels you're getting a lot. I'm going to keep spending because I'm getting so much. And then really when you look at it and the points that equals the dollar amount, it's just not a lot. Not always a lot. So do your research. Remember, don't get stuck in those traps. But if you're using the store, go ahead and use the reward program. But don't feel like you're just winning the world because you're not. That's okay. That's okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Hate to be the bearer of bad news.
George, where can everyone find you?
You can find me at George Kamel on Instagram and the Fine Print Podcast. We did an episode on credit card rewards, and it has a lot to do with what you're hearing today. So go check that episode out.
So good. So great, you guys. Make sure to check out everything George is doing. Thanks again, George, for being on.
Absolutely.
Always a pleasure. All right, you know that I'm a spender. I do not have a problem spending money in general. I actually love it. I prefer to spend money. I think it's so fun. But here is my list of things that I refuse to spend money on, okay? I don't know if you can relate to any of these. And when I say, refuse, let's be honest, let's just say 29 out of 30 times, okay? So there may be that 1% that I'm like, okay. But majority of the time, here is my list. Apps for kids. Nope. Won't do it. Won't do it. My girls are always like, can we buy this game? Can we do this and this and this? I'm like, no. There is called a free section in the App Store. Why do we not use that? But then I do know you get into those free games and Amelia's like, this little squishy ball princess thing needs this all these lives, and it's like $2.99. I'm like, no. We will not spend money on apps. I can't do it. And not even really for myself, I'll be honest. The only app that I will pay for, it's a little bit more expensive. There's a radar scope app because I hate tornadoes. And so having a good radar on my phone is very important to me. And so it connects to the NOAA radars, and it just makes me feel better in life. So I will spend money on that app. But besides that, it's very hard for me to spend money, especially on my kids' apps. No. Another one are all the memberships for kids. So I had a membership to an indoor trampoline warehouse, I guess is basically what it is. It's like this massive building full of trampolines. And it was great in the winter months, but to pay for 3 kids and an adult, it just got pricey. And I was paying it every month, and I realized, man, we do not use it, especially in the summer. We would go once, or whatever, but I just realized it's so much cheaper if I cancel the subscription and just pay for when we go. Now, again, if we were going every week, it would make sense. But we didn't. We were not in the habit of doing that. So it's out of here. It is out of here. Okay, another thing I refuse to spend money on is nice water. I can't do it. There's like the really nice waters, and I can't even name them. Fiji, Smart Water, ones with like electrolytes. I don't know, all the stuff. I just can't. I can't do it. I don't really enjoy like the flavor waters or even like the sparkling. Okay, except my only exception. See, here's my like 29 out of 30 rule. Topo Chicos. I love a Topo Chico. So that all day. But everything else, it's just not worth the money to me. I'm like, give me water from my sink. Or even, I know some of y'all that like really hate bottled water. I'm sorry, you're gonna yell at me in the comments, I already know, so I'm preparing my heart. But just like Costco Kirkland water, like in a water bottle. Like, that's great, that's all I need. Another thing I refuse to spend money on is getting a manicure and pedicure at a fancy spa. Like a really nice salon or spa. Like you go to these places, and you can get a massage and a facial, or in a nice, in Nashville, we have awesome hotels. We'll have spas in the hotels. But I will not pay money for manicure and pedicure at those places. I'm like, I just need to go to a strip mall and go to one of those places. That's it. And they're usually so much better than the other ones. And you're paying like a fraction of the price. So I love a manicure and pedicure. I will pay for that. But I do not need a fancy. So if you ever give me a spa gift card, just know it will go to a massage or a facial, not some like overpriced manicure and pedicure, when I can get the exact same thing, if not even better, at the strip mall across the street, okay? That's what we know. All right, another thing that I have a hard time spending money on is nice jewelry. I just cannot pay a lot of money for nice jewelry. I don't know. I have a nice ring, obviously my wedding ring, but like Winston got me a nice ring. I may have like a nice bracelet or two. I don't know. I just don't spend a lot of money on expensive jewelry. For me, the cheaper, the better, because if I get sick of it, I can switch it out, something else. I don't feel bad about it. So my mother probably is like dying because she's like, these are things you pass down to your children. I'm like, my children will be fine. They're going to be okay. But it's just, I don't know, can't do it. Another thing is with kitchen utensils, like all the really fancy, expensive brands and gadgets and all of it. I don't know. I just can't get into it. I'm like, just give me a plastic spatula from Amazon. I'll probably get a 4-pack. It's great. Now, I will say, though, here's my asterisk. I have an exception to all of these. For our wedding, which was almost 13 years ago, okay, we had all clad measuring cups and measuring spoons. I don't know what you call them, but like the tablespoon, teaspoon. I don't know what those are called, but those things and the cups, we got all clad, and they have lasted. So the quality is there. But if I lost them today, I don't think I would go to Williams-Sonoma and spend the money on those measuring cups again. I don't think I would. I just don't think I would. Another one, ready for this? Fancy coffee. No, I really don't. I have a Keurig at home, and that is good enough for me. And you know what? In fact, I don't even do cream and sugar in my coffee. All black. Yep. I remember in college, our cream went bad one day, and we never bought more cream. I mean, my roommates. So yeah, I just learned to drink it without cream. And then I would do 2 packs of sugar, and then I slowly phased out of that as I became an adult. And but yeah, I don't know. I just need some black coffee from a Keurig, and that's it. My parents got a new coffee machine, and this summer I was down there, and it like grinds up the beans. It has all this. I mean, it is like, wow. And I thought, this is fancy. And I looked it up and I was like, holy crap, Mom and Dad, like that's like a child's tuition that you just spent on a coffee machine. And I drank the coffee and y'all, it's the same as the Keurig. I can't tell the difference ever in nice coffee and just some Waffle House. Give me some Waffle House coffee. That's all I need. It's great. Another thing that I have a hard time spending money on and kind of refuse to is going out for ice cream. Okay, there are fancy restaurant places all over Nashville that I'm sure are great. And I'm sure their flavors are unique and wonderful and all the things. But it's so expensive. Like, we've done it before. I'm like, what we just paid for 5 of us to get ice cream that's ridiculous. Take me to Sonic and let's get a milkshake, 99 cents, kid size, and call it a day, okay? We don't need all this fancy schmancy going out for ice cream. No, you could literally go to the grocery store and buy a carton of ice cream and some chocolate syrup, throw in some sprinkles, and that is a fraction of what you would pay for the 5 of us to go out for fancy ice cream. So, again, will I ever go out for fancy ice cream? I'm sure there will be a day that Rachel takes her kids out to fancy ice cream, okay? But today's not the day. And I do not see it in the future because I think it is so expensive and so silly. Can't do it. Okay, another thing is just buying anything that's on sale. Now, I know these people. They're like, well, it's just on sale, so I should buy it. I'm sure I'll use it. I'll just buy it. No. Just because it's a good deal does not mean it's a good deal for you. And that's how you get a bunch of crap in your house that you don't use because you think, oh, I want to eat that or we're going to use that because it's on sale. It's a great deal. And then it just becomes stuff in your house or things go bad and can't do it. So that is my list, you guys, of things that I refuse to spend money on. So I'm curious, do you agree with any of these? Are you appalled? Because everyone working on this show right now, all 6 people behind this camera, could not believe some of the things on my list. They're like, oh, Rachel. So you may be saying that. I'm curious. And I want to know the things that you refuse to spend money on because I always think that is fascinating. So share this with a friend who may have a really strong opinion about things that they no longer seem to buy. It's a good conversation. All right, one thing that I am loving right now, I'm going to be honest, it's just summer. I don't know what it is. And I think since I have a kid in school, like on the school calendar, summer just feels extra special. Like when they're just home all the time, or they're just like doing a little preschool that's optional, it doesn't feel like a big deal. But when you have a kid that really is, like they get their 2 months, at least in Tennessee, it's just basically June and July. Because they get out into May and they start early August. It just feels so short to me, but it's fine. And I'm like, man, it just feels like a big deal. So yeah, we just have really embraced summer. Winston said early on we were planning out our summer with just, the little day camps that my kids were doing or nights with friends. He was like, I'm not going to board a plane until fall break. And I was like, oh, okay, I hear you. So we're home all summer and we're just embracing it, y'all. The neighborhood pool, we're up late. The kids are running around catching, lightning bugs. Like, it's just great. So I am just loving summer right now. I really am. And one thing that I am learning right now, oh man, y'all, this is an overstatement, so I'm joking, but I kind of feel it in my soul. I'm learning just to be a nurse, how to take care of a child who broke his leg because our sweet Charles, he's 2.5 and he broke his leg, you guys. So we are week 2 with the broken leg. We got about 2 to 3 more weeks left till it heals. And it is like having a 9-month-old again. Like, he didn't want to walk on it for like the first 2 weeks. And I carried it around everywhere because, poor little thing. He just looks pitiful in his little boot. He should be walking in it. The doctor said he's very capable of walking in his boot, but he doesn't want to. And do I make him? No, I don't. I should. And I need to because I don't want like his muscles to like not work in 3 weeks. But he's had the time of his life. He just gets carried around everywhere, just living a great life. That old Charles, sweet thing. All right, you guys, thanks so much for listening to this episode. I want to thank George Kamel for being a great guest on the show. And if you guys have not subscribed to the podcast, make sure that you hit that follow button. And if the Spirit leads, you can leave a review. And as always, make sure to take control of your money and create a life you love.